Hey, what's up, guys? Man, it's cold out. I ain't liking it. But it is better than being 100 degrees out. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and first day back in the shop after being gone flying, and you know I'm a little rusty when I get back. So here's a couple things I'm going to do today. So if you see behind me, I'm standing in front of these gorgeous pieces of machinery, and man, it's time to get some stuff organized. We got winter coming, and we got lots of stuff that's just kind of hodgepodge all over the place, and I think it's time that we get some stuff lined up. Now, obviously I can't move Fiona around today because I got the cab up. So that's unfortunate. But what I'd like to do is I'm going to get the 4 trucks that start running drive. And that'd be Candy, Trisha, Franny, Marla. And I'm going to get those trucks started up, get them warmed up today, and I'm going to get them out of the way. And then I'm going to start over here. I'm going to move Dolores. I'm going to grab X, and I'm going to back him in this way. And I'm going to put 4 trucks on this side, 4 trucks on this side. These are the things I want to do. These are the things I want to do this week. I want to get the front mount done on Krystal, because right now I can't move Krystal because it's sitting up on blocks. So I want to get the front mount done on Krystal so that I can drag that truck around, because we need to get that truck in line. My goal is to get this whole area cleared out so I got some room to put some stuff and be able to move in and out. I got Black Betty needs to come out of the shop. We need to get that motor out of there, get that frame pressure washed, and paint up what needs to be painted up, because we got a motor coming together, and we need to get that truck ready to accept that engine. I want to have that motor in, well, either this trip home or next for sure. So tons of stuff to do this time, and yeah, so let's do some cold start videos. I'll grab a whole bunch of keys, and we'll start with Franny Girl right there, and we'll get some trucks running. Let's go. All right, so now it's cold out. It's 40. You can see your breath. Truck been sitting for a couple weeks. Let's see. That's weird. Well, Trisha started right up. go. We got 4 good starts. See, Franny's got an oil leak all of a sudden. It's not anything that I'm super impressed with. I don't know if you guys can see it down there, but that's no good. No bueno. So let me go get a prop for the hood and we'll get the hood up and see where it's leaking. Dang it. Look at that. Franny's the only one not really smoking. Okay, so the oil leak on Franny is where the injection pump goes up against the engine, I think. I'll have to look at the injection pump in there, but we'll get that a look. Let me get these things moved around. But it's unfortunate that's leaking because, yeah. Anyway. See this section right here? This is where the oil leak's coming from on Franny. So there's an O-ring, and what I'm going to hope is that I can just touch these bolts with a wrench and fix that. If not, man, it's going to suck because I'm going to have to turn that pump loose. So that means bring it up on time and pinning the pump and then taking these bolts off and sliding the pump back, rotating it a little bit. That's not going to be a fun job, but yeah, we'll get a look at that. Hopefully it's something that's loose, but I doubt it. And there's that mess of tires off of Candy. I think I will put those tires on, but not today. So we'll get these tires out of the way. We'll clear a path out of here. I'm tired of clearing a path every time I need to do something, so I need to get my shit together. This table full of parts, all Black Betty stuff. So that'll have to stay. That table's a little bit overweighted. Well, that'll have to stay though. This motor is going to go in X, I believe. And I'd like to get it in there. I'd like to get that in there and get it off the floor and get that cat in here. But anyways, this place is a mess, disaster area. Let's get going. Tomorrow's an exciting day. The parts are supposed to be here for the 3406 that I'm building. And that's exciting to me because I've been wanting to have an engine ready to go. And it'll be nice. I would like to decide though, I would like to decide make the final decision on what truck that's going in. I really want to put the new engine in, Trisha, but the problem with that is the new engine is intercooled instead of aftercooled, and I haven't found an intercooler that'll fit in the Cabover, but maybe you guys know of one. But anyhow, it'll be super good to have that motor ready to go. So I got about a month, imagine 3 weeks from right now to decide where I'm putting that engine. Might just go in Black Betty. This cab jacks up so nice, all new pieces. I need to get new cylinders for Marla. I'm using the old cylinders that was on it, minus the safety valving, and that makes me nervous. So I think I'm just going to buy a new set of cylinders, but you know, it's about 600 bucks, I guess, for 2 cylinders. And I got to take, when I go back out to the woods, I got to take the tools I need to get the cylinder out of Blue Nasty out there so I can put it in Fiona. I don't know, it's gonna be tough without having the cab jacked up on that thing. So I might pull the cab over on it, I don't know. But this thing jacks up nice. This is also an air cylinder, but I didn't feel like dragging an air line out. Plus my shoulders need the exercise. I don't have my normal board either, so I'm not sure really what I'm doing with that yet either. Oops. I need to put a couple bolts in this pump. So what we're going to do is we're going to get down underneath there. We're going to do some quick measuring. That jack is down, so that engine is down in the front. So we'll jack that jack up where I think it belongs, and we'll get under there and we'll make a mount that hangs off that front and hangs up on the frame rail. Try and get you down there with me. Got jack sitting on the cross member, holding the engine up, and I think I've got the engine where I need it. It's a little tiny bit offset to the passenger side, and now I was just thinking a guy could move that over, but right now it clears up top, so I don't think I want to do that. Okay. So my idea is I get these bolts out. Now this is a Caterpillar front mount, and it's not wide enough. I thought about building a piece that comes off of this and goes to that, but it was just such a far reach. So you see, these brackets were pushing this thing forward. I figured I'd take these brackets off and then swap sides with them, and then this 1.5 inches right here will be the opposite direction, which doubles this essentially. So we take these off, we spin them around, and maybe we put this bracket back in, or maybe we just make another bracket. You know, we take these brackets off, we flip them around, and then we take a piece of steel to go forward of that bracket for that mount to set on. That's my idea anyways. So let's get these off.
boy. And then we'll use the this aluminum bracket to get the bolt pattern. All right, so this bracket here is going to go on that side. So now I need to get under there real quick just to kind of get an idea. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So that's high. So that's about right there. Okay, so this is what we got. We got those plates reversed, so it's down and back. And you look right there, it's pretty good because I'm gonna be able to come in there with a plate. So we'll take a piece of 2x3 box tubing that's about this long, comes to about here. And then we'll weld a plate to the front. So we'll have to bring that down here and get a look. All right, so it's hard to see under here because the sun is just starting to get through here. Let me see. So 2x3 box tubing is going to be just a shade under what we need. So we'll probably have to get some more or some bigger stuff. So we'll need a piece of 4x4 piece by 5-inch, probably 5-inch box tubing to span that, maybe 6. And then my idea is to come across like this. And okay. And so this tubing will go into and weld onto those brackets. All right, guys, so what I did is I went and got a piece of 1/2-inch by 4-inch steel, and I got her drilled out and I bolted it up, and then I'm going to, you see, this is that mount. Then I'm going to make a standoff for this to set on that welds to this. It's 3-inch by 4-inch, and we're going to cut some pieces that are 3 inches long. We'll tuck it up in there, we'll bring the welder out, and we'll weld it on. Okay, so it's gonna be a little loud, but anyways, you get this thing spinning before you put it in the work. Look at that. Cold to the touch. I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna put you right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm gonna try and tack this. And then I'm gonna move this track mat because these things are super flammable. Okay, so let's check it out. So I got the mount made. Now my welding is horrible. Couldn't get it in there good, but it is sitting on there. We're gonna tighten up these mounts. Some more. Okay. I'm not gonna go on. Okay. Get the other side. And I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but basically I got a 1/2-inch plate welded on there, and then I welded some 3/8 angle iron to the 1/2-inch plate. Horrible weld. And then it's sitting on there, and it's sitting on some 2x4s because I'm not sure how much where I want the engine to sit yet. So when I do figure that out, I'll have it a little bit of gap, but that'll hold it. Sitting on a 2x4, and then I'll have a mount made. I'll have my machinist, my machine guy take a block of isolation rubber. Oh, look at that, that's nice. Isolation rubber block, and drill it and set some bolts through. That'll go in that top mount, and then I'll have them make a single bolt hole on the bottom, and we'll just bolt it to the, I don't even know if rubber will do it, but I'm pretty sure that you can get some nylon or some sort of vibration isolating material, drill it out and run some bolts through it, and it'll be fine. Most of the torque is on the bell housing mounts to the frame, and we'll have to mess around with that a little bit, but I think we're on the right track. So I'm going to put the thermostat housings back on and make sure that the hood, or that the cab closes down over it. Be able to move this thing around and not have to worry about it sitting on jacks. And actually it was on the cross member, so it would have been fine, but the problem is with the jack sitting on the cross member and holding the engine up, when you moving the suspension around, you're liable to knock the jack out from under it and drop that motor. I don't want to do that.
Nobody wants to drop their stuff.
So it's on the mount, and the jack's still under there, so I'm going to clean up around here and put the thermostat housings on and bring the cab down, make sure they clear. If they do, great. Then we'll plan on the motor just staying right where it's at. It shouldn't be able to move too awful much now, but it could still move around. And then once we get things moved around and this where it's going to be for me to work on it this year over the winter, then I'm going to take that mount back off. I'll jack it back up, take the mount back off, get those things finish welded, drill a hole in the center of that, and plot that whole mount out, and we'll go from there. But anyhow, let's do a little walk around. I'm going to turn some gas off on this welder. I'm a horrible welder anymore. Man, I just don't do it enough. All right, so get you some. But anyways, there we are. There's what the engine looks like. It is raked down just like all the other engines. We got a few degrees in there, probably a little too much, but it is sitting on some blocks, so I can lower that front end down 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 inches. It's on 1 3/4 inches blocks, so I can change that depending on how I want this to work out. We'll get a transmission in there.
we'll figure out the pinion angle where that needs to be, and we'll adjust the front of the engine for that.
All right, so I said if I wasn't able to get a starter on this motor, I was giving up today. And so the problem is this isn't a regular oil pan, because this is a block stiffener, because there's two engines bolted together. And well, the starter was never intended to go here, and I put a truck bell housing on an industrial engine, and this access panel is keeping the starter from going up against the block. And you can see right here what I mean. See, and you can see that starter bolt, or that bolt there is pushing the starter away from the motor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the starter back down. I'm going to take that bolt out and see if the starter then hits this bolt. And then if it's that bolt, I'll take that bolt out. And then if it's this bolt, I'll take that bolt out. And then this cover will leak unless I do something about it. So I'll probably take the cover off and have each one of those bolt holes countersunk, and then use a Allen head countersink flat flush bolt, and that might take care of it. So I'm going to take those bolts out, see if the starter goes, and I'll get back to you now. Today has been super discouraging when it comes to this truck. I made a front mount. It took me, you know, a couple hours to figure out how exactly I wanted to do it, and I got it set down there, and the engine settled back towards the driver's side. And so now when I close the cab, it does hit that coolant hose mount up there, so the motor has to get scooted over. And so there's some shims between the engine mount, the rear engine mounts, and what I'll do is I'll jack the engine up a little bit, and I'll take those bolts out, pull the shims out, move that mount over, and then let the engine scoot over completely, about 1/4 of an inch on the back, and then that should move the front over the 1/4 inch I need to clear that. But it's super tight, and I don't think I'm going to make it. And the more time I spend on this, the more time I think I'm wasting. A lot of people want me to finish this project, and I do too, but a lot of people are saying, hey man, you know, just give up, move on. And I'm almost there. You know, I really want Krystal to be done. I want to be able to run and drive it, and I really want this motor, so I'm putting in the extra effort, but I just think it's for naughts. But anyways, I'll let you know so I get those bolts out. We got the clearance we need, I think. So get the top bolt in. It seems like I can get it square. Rubs a little bit on this plastic cover, but we can grind that off. So we will have to take that plate off and countersink those top holes. But then I think that'll take care of it. This is crazy. Then the only other thing is going to be the oil cooler. So let's go over there and give them a look.
All right, guys. So look, I got all the oil cooler stuff off, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. All right, so this fitting right here goes on the block above this right here, and that just gets a squeeze clamp. You know, this distance and this distance are exactly what you need. It gets a little rubber boot and the squeeze clamp. Now this is cast iron. I believe it's got a steel sleeve pressed on it, but it could just be the cast iron machined. So what I need flanges like this made with a 45 and a probably 2.5 radiator hose stubby pipe, so I can put a hose on there. Then I need this made with about a 1 inch or 1.5 inch stubby radiator hose pipe as well. Then this is the plate that bolts to the engine. super easy design. All it has is oil in and out on this little 2-bolt flange, so perfect. So all I need to do is get a plate made that covers these bolt holes, and we'll put new gaskets in there, and we'll bolt this to a plate that I can weld on, and I'll weld a bracket on this plate. Then I need 2 more of these, so double everything I say. So I need 2 of these plates. I need 4 of these flanges made with a 16 AN, or this fitting, in other words, so I can have 2 of these bolted to the engine block, 16 AN braided hose come out, go back to the back of the frame, click into these, in and out, which is the oil in and out of the cooler bolts to this plate, like this, okay, and we'll have oil going in and out of this plate, water coming out of this plate with a 90, water coming out of this plate. We'll have these things on a mount like this, right? And so we'll have water that goes here, tees into this one, and these 2 lines, or just individually, these 2 lines will run back and go into the engine blocks, and the bottom will be the factory hose. There's a square flange in there. The bottom will be that flange going to the water pump. So we'll have a big pipe coming from the water pump, go into the bottom of each one of these, just like from the factory. We'll have an elbow up on the top here, offset, so we can run those things right next to each other. And back to the engine block to 2 of these that'll be on the block with radiator hose flared ends, and we'll run some aluminum tube and then elbows into the block. It'll be pretty simple actually, and then these will be bolted together on a steel plate that will be welded to the frame or bolted to the frame. So it should be pretty easy, provided I can get my machinist to build me all the pieces I need. I'm going to see if he'll come over today or tomorrow and get a look at what I want to do and do some drawing up and maybe something like that. But anyhow, so I guess then the next couple of things I'll do is I'll snatch loose the frame mounts on the transmission, and I'll take the spacers out of the passenger sides about 1/4 of an inch, and I'll slide the whole engine over 1/4 of an inch to the left, which will give me the room I need on the driver's side for that water neck, and I'll move those plates over to the driver's side. So move the whole engine to the passenger side 1/4 of an inch. It's already off center a little bit. I don't think it matters. I think 1/4, or I think we'll figure it out. But it's going to be super exciting, and I think I'm going to switch the truck over to cable shifter, but I'm going to try and get this direct tube shifter made. I think it's possible. I don't know. We're gonna see. It's getting kind of late. It's 3 p.m. already. I haven't even started pressure washing yet, so I think I'm gonna clean up my mess from Candy, put everything on that table for Robert if he comes over, put away the tools, grab the pressure washer, get it out, string out some water, and see if I can get the engine and the under the cab washed on Fiona, so that tomorrow I can get in there and get a look at the oil pump drive shaft, or the fuel pump drive shaft, and put a mechanical fuel pump on it and see if we get that thing to feed some fuel to the injection pump, and see if the injection pump will spray fuel out of each of the injector lines, and if it will, we'll take the line kit off the old A model off Krystal and put it on Fiona and see if it'll start running on its own fuel. Anyways,